Hello YouTubers, this is your hostess Jane Joyce. Welcome to another edition of Zebra, the comic book read-along. Today we are going to be reading Trinity number 3. This is of course a DC publication. This was published in January of 2017. This is a very nice book, which is why I started the series with Trinity. So before we get started, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the credits for this issue. And this is written by Francis Manapul. Again, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name wrong, so I got to apologize in advance if I'm mispronouncing it, because I'm just not very good at pronunciation sometimes, especially when it comes to names that I've never actually heard spoken. So I suppose if I watch some other YouTube videos, I'm sure I could figure it out, but usually I just see his name written down. But you can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at Francis Manapul, M-A-N-A-P-U-L for Twitter, and Francis_Manapul on Instagram. And the pencils for this issue were done by Clay Mann. Oh, fantastic artist, really good stuff. And you can follow him on Twitter at Clay_Mann, M-A-N-N_. Clay_Man_, or on Instagram, ClayManPI. This one we have Brad Anderson doing the colors, and Brad also had worked on one of the previous issues. And Brad's work can be found on Twitter at BDAnderson13 and on Instagram at ComicBrad. And also for this issue, we again have Steve Wands doing the letters. And Steve can be found on Twitter at SWands and Instagram at SWandsArt. And then also we have, the cover was also done with clay by Sonia Obak. And Sonia is at Twitter at Sonia Obak. I couldn't find her Instagram. If you guys find it, feel free to post it in the comments so that other people can follow her. And then also the variant cover for this was done by Steve Epting. Twitter at Steve Epting, E-P-T-I-N-G, or on Instagram at Steve Epting. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So grab your copy and let's read along. This issue starts with what appears to be a monologue by the Batman. You can tell by the little bat symbol in the monologue box. And they're going to see the Zorro movie. And it looks like perhaps Gotham City. And as we go along, this is, again, if you saw the videos for Trinity 1 and Trinity 2, then you'll probably kind of know what's going on. But we have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman all kind of watching from afar as Batman's parents get killed. And there's just this wonderful paneling where it says bang, and in each of these letters it has a scene: young Bruce, a gun blast, the mom Martha getting held at gunpoint, the pearls breaking. Above this all we see Batman in his older age reaching out as if he could stop it, but he knows that he can't, or at least shouldn't. We then cut to this, again, very, very wonderful scene where we see another bang, and within the blocks of the words, we see Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman jumping down to the scene. We see this great downward shot with the bat symbol in it. And to the left, we see, a young Bruce Wayne standing over his dead parents, pearls laying in the street. And over here to the right, we have Bruce's friends consoling him as he relives his darkest memories. This is just a beautiful 2-page splash right here. So we kind of cut back to the normal day, normal time, and we can see that this is so painful for Bruce Wayne that he's actually crying. It appears that somebody's knocking at the door, to something to that effect. Probably Lois Lane is what it sounds like. Looks like she's trying to break down the door. She thinks that John is in there, but she's not really sure where the other three are at just yet. And here we get this outside view of Lois trying to break down the door. And as you look around, she can tell that something's off. She's officially worried, like moms get. Now we cut back to this also wonderful, wonderful paneling, just great paneling in this, where we see young Bruce Wayne just seems to be kind of crippled by this pain of losing his parents, and then it kind of shows a close-up and then an extreme close-up of his face. He's talking to this doctor who looks a little bit scary, to be honest. She looks just a little bit intimidating. As we read along, we kind of get an idea that this is Dr. Quinzel. Does any of that making sense to you just yet? Very confusing, isn't it? Isn't it? Very confusing. Very confusing, isn't it? 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 So next thing we know, it appears that the heroes are up on top of this building overlooking this event. And they're trying to understand what exactly is going on. And they know that whatever's happening, it feels real, but they know that this isn't quite real. And they're trying to get to the bottom of it. Get to the bottom of it. Know that this isn't quite. Know that this isn't quite. Know that this isn't quite. Get to the bottom of it. 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 And then so we see young Bruce talking to Alfred, 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 talking to Alfred. And suddenly he's confronted full on by this scary horse. Look at this thing. It's got fire coming from its eyes. Man, he is terrified. Look at, he drops his drink. He is screaming. He is screaming. He is screaming. And next thing you know, he's getting thrown from the window by this monster demon thing, and it is going to get him, and they are both flying out the window, and it is very terrifying. Very terrifying. Very terrifying. Very terrifying. And this is a really great panel, this two-page splash right here. It shows Superman basically catching or attempting to catch a young Bruce, and you can see the real world and then the split version of like the demonic scarecrow imagery that he's seeing. And then as he's falling, it looks like Batman grabs a young Bruce Wayne, and you can see that, you know, the real world is Batman, but he sees basically like a man-bat, giant bat creature catching him. And it looks like Clark is going to go grab Alfred. They land on top of a car. And, you know, Batman is just reliving the death that he's experienced as Bruce Wayne and as the Batman. Wonder Woman is a very scary creature here. You can see her her real self, and then what Bruce is seeing with the lasso of truth wrapped around him. Wonder Woman knows she can fix this problem. And then next thing you know, he's kind of out of this sweat, and Alfred and Bruce are standing on the side of the road at the bottom of this building, and the car was crunched, so you know that that really did sort of happen. They really did fall from the sky, and they really were caught by Batman and Superman. Now here Bruce Wayne is reflecting on the movie poster, and he's kind of talking about, well, what happened with this. Of course, this is kind of a moment of figuring out who's to blame, talking about blame and honor and sacrifice. About blame and honor and sacrifice. And sacrifice. And sacrifice. And sacrifice. Now at the end of this, we see Lois Lane crushing a car through the wall, basically about ready to run over Poison Ivy. And Poison Ivy is pretty angry, and she's holding John's mouth shut. I have to say, I really like this book. I mean, this is why I decided to start with this series. Everything about it is fantastic. There's clarity in every image, the line quality, the line weight, the values, which is the color choices, the mood set, everything is just, this is a superb book. I mean, the storyline's great. It's got a lot of my favorite characters in it. This is why I started with Trinity, is because this is just an excellent, excellent series. So I hope you guys enjoyed this book as much as I do, and we'll see you on the next episode.